The opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily those of the owners of this website or any other media outlets this program may be viewed on. From the banks of beautiful Falls River in Pointe-Coupee Parish to the great state of Louisiana, the United States, and around the world, welcome to the Island Report with David K. Jarrow, Pointe-Coupee's first and only live internet radio broadcast with local news, opinion, and live calls. And now, here's Dave.
All right, welcome to the Dave K. Show. Good evening, my friends. I am David K. Jarrow, and you're listening to the Dave K. Show here on www.newrosdaily.com. Nero's first and only live internet radio broadcast, and we're coming at you every week, every Monday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're also on the World Wide Web, of course, and we just started out with our brand new Cablevision television show on Charter Cable Channel 8 in Pointe-Coupee Parish. And that's going to come on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at 8:15 p.m. So make sure if you missed us on the air, you can always go back and actually watch us on Cablevision. And soon we're going to be bringing you some live streaming video to go with that also. Well, we have a lot of stuff to go over tonight. We have a very, very good show for you, like always. I'm going to go ahead and go over the rundown for our guest tonight. We have another jam-packed show tonight with some very, very good guests. First of all, we're going to have Mr. Major Tebow with us in the studio, and we're going to talk about several different things, including a couple of amendments you're going to be voting for in our October 2nd election. You know, a lot of times you go out there to go vote, and you know which candidates you're voting for, and all of a sudden, boom, you get hit with all these propositions and amendments you never even heard of before. So what you have to do, you have to go in there and try to read all of this fine print and hurry up and make a decision real quick. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to go over in detail the two amendments that we're going to be voting on, and we want you to be very, very informed when you go in that voting booth, and you will know exactly what you want to do as soon as you get in the voting booth. So once again, Mr. Major Tebow, or Representative Major Tebow, is going to help us out with that tonight. And following Mr. Major Tebow, we're going to have Mr. George Colbert, and he is the owner of Colbert's School of Driving, and he's offering a 38-hour driver educational class at New Roads Fire Station number 2 coming up pretty soon. Now, Mr. Colbert's he's a driver's education instructor, and he's going to be teaching some brand new drivers, how to go ahead and get their license and learn to be safe drivers. And I tell you what, guys and girls, this is something, I don't care how long you've been driving, some of us need to hear what Mr. Colbert's going to have to say. And following Mr. Colbert, we're going to have Mr. Robert Meyer running for mayor of New Roads. He's going to be making his second appearance with us tonight, and he's got a lot of stuff that he's been going through on the campaign trail, people he's been talking to, and he wants to relay some new information to us about his campaign, and then some of the outlines, some of the plans he has for the city of New Roads. So we're looking forward to having Mr. Robert Meyer with us tonight for 2 segments. He's going to be on around 6:45 to 7:15 tonight. And in our second hour tonight, we're going to have Mr. Walter Warr, who's, of course, running for New Roads mayor. And Mr. Walter Warr is going to be the last candidate that we have on our show that's running for mayor. And if you've seen the www.newrosdaily.com website, you have seen that Mayor Tommy Nelson offered us an interview earlier today. And it's an 18-minute interview, and it's definitely something you do not want to miss. And that's going to be coming on following this program tonight at 8 p.m. Okay, so that pretty much wraps it up for our guest tonight on our show. And we're going to follow that up with a couple of news stories, and we're going to go right into Mr. Major, or let's just say Representative Major Tebow. I've got to change that. Well, I don't know if you've heard. It seems like every day we're losing somebody very special in our community. This past week we lost a very, very special friend and family of the community, Dr. James Wade O'Neill Jr. He was a beloved husband, father, grandfather, brother, uncle, and friend, and he died this past Saturday, September 18th, 2010. He was born in Bethany on February 17th, 1933, and raised in Port Allen, where he was a lifeguard and taught swimming at the community center. He was an Eagle Scout and honor graduate from Catholic High School in Baton Rouge, where he was a salutatorian, and he received his bachelor's degree from LSU in Baton Rouge, where he was president of the Sigma Chi fraternity. And I didn't know this, but he had joined the Air Force and entered flight training, which is pretty interesting because we all love to fly around here, love flying planes and stuff. but I had no idea he had went through flight training. He decided to take an early release, and he attended LSU Medical School, where he chose to be a family practice doctor with a close personal love for his patients. And he was also a member of the Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society and attended Confederate Memorial Hospital, where he was intern of the year. Of course, Dr. O'Neill's got a long, long resume. We're not going to go over everything. But, he was a resident of Maryland for nearly 50 years, and he was loved by his patients and many, many dear friends. He was a hunter, a fisherman, tennis player, scuba diver, and, of course, an avid LSU fan. And once again, we're going to remember Dr. James Wade O'Neill Jr. And it kind of hits home for me because my father-in-law was Dr. Beeman, who, of course, was in practice with Dr. O'Neill for many, many years in Maringouin. And I tell you what, we were talking about the other day, you just don't find these kind of doctors anymore, These are the doctors that were intricately woven in our community. They would come and make house calls. They would come visit us at our house. And they just don't practice that kind of medicine anymore. And once again, we're going to sorely miss Dr. O'Neill. May he rest in peace. All right, I don't know if you heard, but Facebook is mulling a new branded smartphone. There's a lot of Facebook news all over the place. It seems like they're always expanding into something else. But Facebook actually denied a story published this week that says the company is building a mobile phone. But CNET has confirmed that the social networking giant has reached out to hardware manufacturers and carriers seeking input on a potential Facebook-branded phone. A story by TechCrunch says Facebook is building a mobile phone, or rather they're building the software for the phone and working with a third party to actually build the hardware. And of course Facebook quickly tried to discredit the story with a spokesman telling CNET that Facebook is not building a phone. Our view is that almost all experiences would be better if they were social. So integrating deeply into existing platforms and operating systems is a good way to enable this. And like I said, just society, technology just growing so rapidly. With all of our smartphones, iPhones, and Blackberries and everything. And let's see here. We got a couple more news stories we're going to go before we get to Representative Tebow. I don't know if you heard it this past Sunday, but shoppers enjoying a Sunday afternoon inside Baton Rouge Mall got the scare of their lives after a midday robbery caused chaos inside the shopping center. The East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office said 2 masked thieves robbed a jewelry stand inside the Mall of Louisiana. Details said deputy said the 2 men sprayed workers with mace at the Gold Center kiosk. Deputy said the men then broke the glass on several jewelry cases, grabbed what they could, and then took off running. Of course, crowds rushed out of the mall after the initial reports indicated shots were fired. The sound people mistook for gunshots was breaking glass at the first floor jewelry booth. Casey Boudreaux was inside the mall while the mayhem ensued. Everyone is saying, "Run, get out of the mall," Boudreaux said. "You have women and children in here." Women pushing strollers, and you see them grabbing their kids out of their strollers so they can run to get out of the mall. It's crazy. I'll tell you what, every time you're just not safe anywhere. Every time I go into a crowded building or a restaurant, I make it a habit if I kind of just scan the place and see all who's in there, and just you always got to watch your back no matter where you are these days. So just thank God nobody got seriously injured in that crash or whatever. Okay, without further ado, let's get to our guest.